I actually sat next to Terry Stotts' daughter. She lives
No
in
way.
Minnesota. Yeah. So that was a good time. I mean, she was a pretty cool person.
You talk some shit?
Nah, I didn't talk that.
I just don't think he has it anymore.
Melo's the
it.
role he didn't want in Oklahoma City.
Carmelo Anthony drills it straight away.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Control the Narrative, a podcast where we control the narrative that the media creates. If you're new around here, subscribe to catch our weekly podcast. If you're a returner, a subscriber, or better yet, a member, we appreciate you as always. It is May 31st, Monday. We are recording this podcast ahead of Tuesday's Game 5 in Denver. This is obviously going to come out on Wednesday, so we do not know what happened. We record our podcast Monday and Tuesday. We weren't going to record our podcast tomorrow night, well, yesterday night at midnight. So here we are talking after the Blazers tied it up 2-2. It is 2 days after Melo's 37th birthday. The crowd saying happy birthday to him in Portland. We'll get into all that. But right now, the series is 2-2. We're heading to Denver. It's now best out of three. 2 games in Denver, 1 game in Portland. Portland has shown that they can win in Denver. But at the same time, Denver has shown that they can win in Portland. So we'll see what happens. Real quick before we get into this podcast, if you see my hat and you watch this podcast or whatever, if you're a viewer of our Instagram clips, whatever, you've never seen this before. This is one of our new pieces of merch dropping within the next week or two. It has we have a red one and we have a black one, just basic control hat. We are releasing them in the next week or two. All ballers and above of the Control the Narrative membership program get 20% off merch forever. So when this comes out, they have a code. They know the code. We don't share that with people who are not a member, but they have a code to get 20% off. So if you're interested in some of our merch coming out, this is just one of the things we have coming out. This hat, another color, some T-shirts and shit like that. So controlthenarrative.com, become a member and get a bunch of perks, access to our invite-only Discord, hop on a podcast like my guy Trey is that we're going to intro in a second. Controlthenarrative.com, become a member today. With all that being said, 2 minutes in, let's introduce our guest for the night, my guy Trey. Trey, how you doing tonight, bro?
Good.
No doubt. Yo, appreciate you taking some time out. Appreciate you for being a member. Shit means a lot, and I feel like we're really building up a cool community in the Discord for sure. So appreciate you, bro. For those who don't know you, and even for me a little bit, because we talked a little bit off camera, but why don't you give us like a 2-minute intro on how you started liking Melo and obviously to this point today.
Man, well, as you know, everybody else is a LeBron fan. We had LeBron fans in my family.
Yep.
And every time you see LeBron play, especially in high school, when they showed him on TV, probably playing Melo or whatever, and he was just a beast to me, man. I'm like, who's this guy? Like, I feel like everybody has a similar story, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, like, I mean, the way he scored looked so effortless, like everything. Like, oh my God, like this guy is dope. Like, and he's just been my favorite for forever. I mean, obviously Iverson, like that, but besides Iverson, it was always Melo, always.
Two questions for you. So you liked him all the way back from high school?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Before that.
Respect.
Like, when he was on the video game covers, all that, like that was my man.
And also, I see you have the McDonald's All-American jersey, fucking heat.
Sure.
And you showed me a Knicks jersey before. I'm always curious to hear what people have to say when I ask them this question. Were you like a fan of whatever team Melo was on? Did you have your own favorite team? Like, I know you're from Minnesota, so like, are you a Timberwolves fan and you just like fuck with Melo on the side, or like what's your fandom like there?
If Melo was leaving, I was leaving. Like, that's how it was for me. Timberwolves ain't never been good. We had Garnett, Kevin Love for a little bit, but Kevin Love, they didn't win anything. Garnett, when he was here, they didn't win anything. But nah, always been a Melo guy. If he was leaving, I was leaving.
Respect. What are you gonna do when Melo retires?
If he's celebrating, I'm celebrating. I don't mean.
All
He's
right,
a
fair
Hall of
enough.
Famer. It's a celebration, you know.
Fair
I
enough.
feel like I celebrated on his birthday, you know.
37th. We'll get into that. It's May 31st, 2 days after Melo. If you're listening to this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, happy belated. It's been a pleasure watching you over these past 18 years.
For sure.
Dope, Trey. Yo, let's get into actually before we get into the Blazers, tell us the story of when you met Melo before the pandemic. Before we get into everything.
So my girlfriend surprised me with some tickets to the T-Wolves Blazers game right before the pandemic. Got pretty good seats. Crazy thing I didn't tell you before. I actually sat next to Terry Stotts' daughter. She lives in Minnesota. Yeah. So that was a good time. I mean, she was a pretty cool person.
You talk some shit?
Nah, I didn't talk that. I should have. No, but she was pretty cool. Was leaving the game. I was trying to stick around, got kicked out of the Target Center. Told my girlfriend, I was like, well, let's wait by the buses. We at least gotta try to meet Melo or something. And so we go by the buses. Security guard told me it's not worth it. They never stopped. I saw Dame, CJ come out. No one stopped. And my girlfriend had a Famous Nobody's hoodie on. So if you know, you know. And I got his attention by that. He came over, signed my jersey, took a picture with me, signed my girlfriend's sweater. It was awesome. It's a real cool dude. I
was gonna say that, like, the first I've told this story many times on here, but the first time I met him, I was like literally shitting myself. Like my hand was like going like this, like, what's up, Melo? Like, cause I was so nervous. I'd idolized this dude, and he couldn't have been a cooler dude. And had he been a dick, would have fucking ruined my life at that point.
Would have fucked you up. That's how I felt too, bro. Exactly how I felt.
Yeah,
but it was exactly what I expected. Like, real genuine. Like,
yeah.
Real cool dude, man.
Good shit, man. I love that. Yo, let's get into his team right now, the Blazers. Obviously, like I mentioned, tied 2-2. Seen some things we have liked and some things we have not liked as fans of Melo. Just obviously, we want this team to win the championship.
Right.
Give me one thing you like from the Blazers so far that you've seen in this series and why.
I mean, I'm just glad that they knew that they had to come out and win. They didn't come out and win that last game. I mean, and I think they're gonna keep their foot on the gas. You know, I think that they're gonna come out just like they did last game. I mean, I didn't see too many adjustments, but you know, I saw Jefferson get in a little bit and stuff like that. I mean, some type of switch up, which Terry Stotts doesn't do very much of. So you know, we saw something.
So the adjustment and the urgency.
Yeah, for sure.
Word. This might be an unpopular opinion at this point, but obviously, you know, recency bias and all that shit. I'm kind of basing this off Game 4, kind of like you.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nurkic in Game 4 fucking killed it on both ends of the court.
Right.
I feel like he's such an X factor for this team. Like, we saw in the bubble how good they can be when he is on. And even like now in this series, like when he isn't fouling out, he fouled out for those 2 straight games. They lost both of those games.
Right.
They won Game 1 when he did not foul out. They won Game 4 when he did not foul out. So I feel like if he can continue just applying pressure on Jokic, he's going to get his looks with these fucking weird-ass fadeaways and these weird-ass shots he gets. But especially offensively, I feel like they need to utilize him more as a playmaker. I've been saying this for a minute where, you know, first of all, if your 5 can be one of the playmakers and you take the big out of the paint, opens up the lane. And then also getting Dame, CJ, Norman Powell, Melo, all these guys looks off the ball, I feel like it helps them so much. So I personally, off of Game 4, really liked what I saw from Nurk. And when he's on, like when he's mentally in it, when he isn't jumping at every single pump fake and all that shit, I feel like he's such an X factor for this team.
Definitely. I mean, especially with him being more of a playmaker, we got some really good scoring guards, obviously.
Exactly.
Him and Dame, when Dame cuts, almost every time they score. Like, it's crazy. That in a screen from Melo to Dame, it's almost like every time they score. It's crazy. Because Dame
and they run it like 3 times a game.
Right. But CJ, Melo screen CJ, he's going straight to the basket. He never passed to Melo, I feel like. But That's just me.
People say that, bro. People say that like, not that CJ has something against Melo, because like they're legit friends. Like you could tell they're legit friends. But yeah, dude, this dude just puts his head down and like he has tunnel vision a lot of the time. Sure. And for him being your secondary ball handler, it's frustrating. It's frustrating when he's like that second playmaker.
Especially when you're on the court with just Melo, who can score. Like when he's bringing the ball up and it's him and Melo in the screen or something, like it's like he just doesn't. He's like, I got to get my bucket. Yeah. But Melo can score too now. Top 10 for a reason.
Yeah. And again, man, they won 2 games, game 1 and game 4. It's really been a up and down series where one game they look like they could win out and like just win the rest of the games that the Nuggets can't hang, and then you have another game where Austin Rivers puts up what did he put up like 14 in the fourth quarter against CJ. So yeah, I think the Nurkic thing for me, when he is playing both ends of the court with his head on straight and he's not pump faking and he's not taking these crazy shots and making his layups. I've never seen somebody miss as many layups except maybe Jared Jeffries as Nurk, but it's fucking frustrating.
It is.
Yo, Trey, tell me one thing you don't like from the Blazers so far. Something that you've seen and you're like, this shit's annoying. Or if they fix this, I feel like there would be this series would be way better, way easier series.
It's nothing I don't think they could fix this season, obviously, but I think what they need to fix is another player. I think they need to have someone that's going to be more of a playmaker, especially with the second unit. I like Simons. Sometimes he can be frustrating to watch. Same thing with CJ, like I already kind of pointed out. I mean, yeah, it would be more so them grabbing another piece.
Fair.
I would like to see more Dame and Melo on the court at the same time as well, and more of Powell and CJ. And I think that's
interesting.
It's kind of hard to have them all on the court at the same time sometimes to watch.
Because they're all scorers.
Yeah, so if they mix it up like that, I think that would be another way for Melo to get more touches as well. Because I always want to see him shoot the ball. That's why I watch Portland games, to be honest.
Of course. Bro, for me, the thing that you like is the thing I don't like, which is like the urgency, where we saw in game 4, they came out the gate and just fucking killed it. Like both ends of the court, they were just locked in defensively. Offensively, they were getting quality look after quality look. Obviously, if the shots don't go in, they don't go in, but they were going in for game 4. So for me, it's annoying how they can come out one game and be like, yo, our backs are against the wall. And we saw this in the bubble where their backs were against the wall every single game, and they came out every single game and did what they needed to do. And we saw it in game 4. If they couldn't have gone down 3-1 heading back into Denver with a chance for the Nuggets to close out, that couldn't happen. The Blazers knew it, and they rose up.
Right.
And I just don't understand why they can't flip that switch more often. Because when they do, even defensively, man, like even defensively, I say this all the time. It's not like they have a bunch of slow, out of shape people on the team. Like they have some good athletes. Like Powell is a good athlete. CJ's a good athlete. Dame's a good athlete. All these dudes are good athletes who can play defense. Like it's not like that they're unable to play defense. Like they can. It's just when they want to. So that fact that they're like doing it when they want is just so frustrating, because before the series I picked Blazers in 5, and I still do think if CJ tried harder defensively on Austin Rivers in that fourth quarter, it might be 3-1 right now. I think that if CJ passed the ball more than 3 times a game, I know he does. For people are gonna say, oh no, he averages 5 assists. Like I know, but he has the ball in his hands so much. Like he better average 5 assists. That to me, like the focus, the urgency, and just like the energy that they bring when they need to. If they just brought that earlier in the series, earlier in the games, whatever, would make life so much easier for them. But again, like the bubble Blazers last year was some of the most infuriating and nerve-wracking basketball I've ever watched as a fan, where I'm dying for this team so much because if Melo could give two
Right.
fucks about the Blazers once Melo leaves this summer, like obviously they'll always hold a special place in my heart. We'll get to that.
For sure.
But the feeling that team had, me feeling like with all those down to the wire games, all those like they would always go down by 15 and in the fourth quarter make a comeback and all that shit. So they can do it when they want to, they can do it when they need to. That's at the end of the day what this team does dating back to last year, but I just wish they could do it more consistently.
Yeah, true. I mean, if I told you Dame shot 1 for 10, you wouldn't think that the Blazers won either. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. Norm stepped
Yeah.
up. I fucking think about that. Like, it would save me so much stress and anxiety if they just came out and in game 2 if they did that, in game 3 if they did that, whatever. But
right.
we're 2-2 right now, heading into game 5. Like we said, 2 days ago was Carmelo Anthony's birthday. He turned 37. They played that game. Melo had a good game. I think he shot 5 of 11, scored like 16 points or something like that.
Yeah.
And the Portland Trailblazer crowd sang him a happy birthday. He like patted his chest, like appreciate you guys. What was your reaction to the fans singing it to him in Portland?
Man, that was such a dope moment. I can't even lie. Man, like you love to see stuff like that, especially a man who got counted out, come back, fan base show him love. I got my love-hate relationship with the Blazers, but that was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. That's why they would always have a special place in our heart for sure. Stuff like this. For them giving him that chance, stuff like this, showing him that love, like he deserves it. He deserves his flowers for sure.
Real quick, tell us why you have a love-hate relationship with the Blazers. I think I know the answer, but
I mean, Melo should be a starter in my books. I mean, he all season you never know what you're gonna get. Melo might play 15 minutes, he might play 20, might play 25. Like, and I think that he could really still be one of those guys. So it's like, what do you guys not see that I'm seeing? So
yeah,
that'd be really it.
Fair. Kind of along the same lines as you, like when you hear that, obviously we think of like, oh shit, you know, he was out of the league for a year. This is the one team that gave him a chance. But more than anything, for me, it's really how the fans have embraced him. Like I saw a comment on one of the Blazers' Instagram pictures over the past few days where it was like, yo, Carmelo Anthony is a Trailblazer. Like they still can't believe it that like this dude is playing for their franchise. Like one of the fans, and it was one of the top like comments and shit like that. I go back to, we see it right now going in Denver and the fans booing him and like saying, yo, you're a pussy, fuck you, how is New York, all this shit. We saw it in New York where they booed him the last year. Like people don't want to talk about that, but Knicks fans were booing Melo when the team was struggling because he was the guy that Phil Jackson was pointing out to be like the bad guy where, yeah, Melo doesn't pass the ball enough, Melo this, Melo that. When in reality, the Knicks made the playoffs this year for the first time since Phil Jackson took over in 2014. Do not think it's a coincidence. But we saw how that kind of marriage ended with Melo in New York. Obviously now every time he goes to New York, he gets fucking nothing but love. I've been at every game he's played in New York and MSG, in Brooklyn, and New York obviously still loves Melo, and hopefully he comes back this summer. But for me, that's what I think of. Like, yes, the Blazers were the one team to give him a chance and all that, but the way the fans have really embraced this dude and appreciated him, and last year when they were fans, the way they went crazy for him whenever he was announced in the starting lineup or whenever he hit a 3 and like his first game in Portland, they were like chanting his name and all this shit. So shout out to the Portland Trailblazer fans, the real ones. I know there's a lot of ones, I'm not going to name names and give them any attention, that you know, have said some stupid things about Melo in Portland, like should the Blazers cut Melo and just all this stupid shit. But at the end of the day, I feel like the overwhelming majority of the fans in Portland and these Blazer fans have been nothing but amazing for Melo, and I think he realizes that too.
Yeah, for sure.
So looking ahead, again, this podcast is coming kind of at a weird time. By next podcast, we will know if the Portland Trailblazers have been eliminated or if they are moving on to the next round. So with that being said, let's just look ahead to the next round, just to play the game. Right now, the matchup would be either the Phoenix Suns or the Los Angeles Lakers. That series is also in a weird spot where Chris Paul was hurt and Anthony Davis was healthy, and you think, oh shit, like the Lakers are coming, and like here we go again with LeBron and all that shit. Then Anthony Davis goes down and Chris Paul gets healthy, and now that series is tied too. So with that being said, right now at 9:42 p.m. on May 31st, Monday, May 31st, who would you rather see in the next round, the Phoenix Suns or the Los Angeles Lakers?
It's a tough question. So can I say is Anthony Davis going to play in the next round? Am I basing it off that?
See, like this is the tough thing because we don't know. Let's say both teams are healthy. Let's go with that.
I'm gonna go with Phoenix just because of the experience. But either series, if they play the Lakers or the Suns, Nurkic is gonna have to play his tail off. It's gonna be the same situation as right now. He's gonna be the key piece, because Anthony Davis is gonna be a problem, and you see what Aiden is doing to Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So either one is gonna be a problem, and I think that I would take Suns though because of the inexperience.
Even with CP having a shit ton of experience, just like the team as a whole, you mean?
Yeah, the team as a whole. Yeah, team as a whole. I mean, it's D Book's first playoffs. It's Aiden's first playoffs. So I mean,
yeah, fair.
I think I'd rather see Phoenix.
That's a fair point. It's so tough because like this Lakers team healthy is fucking scary. We know that they just won the fucking championship last year.
Yeah.
The Suns team seems legit. If Chris Paul is healthy. If Chris Paul is healthy, if like the young guys are stepping up like they've been, Booker has been doing his thing, Ayton has been balling out. Not enough people are talking about him, and going up against a guy like Anthony Davis, like it's not like the Lakers don't have good defensive big. Like Anthony Davis is a pretty good defender.
Right, he's also grabbing 15, 16 rebounds.
Yeah, he's going off. I want to say Lakers so bad. Just to get revenge on them, and because I fucking hate LeBron and all that shit. But if Anthony Davis is healthy, we know that the Lakers are a problem. We know that the Suns, them healthy, yes, Chris Paul, yes, D Book, yes, all those guys. But I think all those young guys that they have are such a wild card. And Devin Booker can go out maybe one game and shoot like 2 for 14, and then Chris Paul is gonna have to carry, and then Mikal Bridges. So there's a lot more X factors. There's a lot more wild cards, I think, with the Suns, even with them being all healthy, versus the Lakers with them being all healthy. But let me switch it up a little bit because Anthony Davis just strained his groin. I think he's like questionable for Game 5, and he's kind of day to day. Would you rather see the Lakers without AD or the Suns with CP, like everyone healthy?
Oh, Lakers without AD. Lakers without AD.
That seems like it's gonna be. I'm not wishing injury or any of that on AD right now, but it seems like you don't just recover from a groin strain. And I'm pretty sure that's his injury. You don't recover from that in like 2 days.
Right.
He has unlikely to play in Game 5 due to strain left.
Isn't that the same thing Bron kind of went out with earlier?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
And he was out for a while. I don't think he expected to be out that long last time he hurt his groin.
Yep. So he's day to day. He's unlikely to play in Game 5. And you're not scared of LeBron?
He's got to beat Dame, CJ, Melo, Norm. It's a lot. I mean, they got some good guys over there, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll be enough without AD.
Me too. And it's tough. Like I wish we could like dive more into it, but at the end of the day, like we don't know if the Blazers are gonna make it out of this round. We hope so. I hope that the Blazers are gonna take care of business in Denver and then have an opportunity to win it, to advance on their home court. I really don't want to see the series go 7, even though I definitely can. Last question for you. What is your prediction for the rest of the series on Monday?
I hope they get the job done. Denver, back home, finish it in Portland.
Do you think that's what's going to happen?
Yes, I do. I have to believe it if I want it to happen. I gotta believe it.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I feel the same way because I was talking to my buddy Chris today, and like I feel like the Blazers unlocked something in Game 4. Like they were up by fucking over 30 for some of the game, and when I say I feel like they unlock something, I feel like they unlock like, yo, if we fucking try from the get-go, if we focus defensively, if we look for quality shots, this team can't hang with us. And I thought that before the series, like Jokic, again, he did not play well, but when you're down by 30, even if he had an amazing game, they're down 15, 10, and they're still down.
Dame's not going to shoot 1 for 10 again.
Exactly. That too. Norman Powell's not going to shoot like 80%, but yeah, Dame is no shot. He's shooting 1 for 10 again this series. So yeah, man, I think they have a really good shot to go in tomorrow night into Denver and win, and then from there, an opportunity on your home court. They lost the first game on their home court, but I just think this team now realizes, okay, our backs are against the wall. We can't let them go up 3-2 with a chance to just win 1 out of 2 games. Like, we need to take care of business. And we've seen it. Like I said, we've seen this team apply pressure when it's absolutely necessary. And I hope, Trey, I really hope that that they see that these are obviously must-win games and just take care of business, get a win in Denver, and come home and close it out in Portland.
I think they're going to want to shut those fans up because that
too.
video, I think they want to shut those fans up.
Especially Melo, if he gets the opportunity to.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see about that. Yo, Trey, at the end of every podcast, we give our guests the opportunity to control a narrative. It doesn't have to be Melo related, doesn't have to be basketball related, doesn't have to be sports related. So with that being said, I'm going to give you the floor and let you control a narrative.
I can just control the narrative that my man's belongs in the league. Control that narrative. I mean, you're already doing that. You're doing a great job with that already. I mean,
appreciate that, bro.
I'm just going to go ahead and go on, hop on your train,
Speak on it.
I believe that he's been in the league. I don't know what all these people were saying and what they were talking about, but I'm just glad that you're doing that, doing what you're doing, man. You're controlling that narrative, and I'm with your narrative, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
Your platform is amazing, and I'm glad I ran across it for sure.
It means a lot. It means a lot. And you know what the craziest part is like we're still fighting it. Like literally 3-4 months ago, not 4 months ago, like 2-3 months ago, there were still people asking if he was good enough to be in the league. After all the shit he did last year, after all the shit he's done this year, people are still like, should the Blazers cut this guy? Just fucking wild.
Crazy. I mean, you get a guy on a minimum contract and he's dropping 17 in a quarter. Like, there's guys who can't drop 17 in a game, but they're on a team. That's crazy to me. That is crazy.
Getting paid 4 times what Melo gets paid.
Exactly, which is crazy to me. I mean, he was doing it against the Sixers. He did that against the Sixers. I mean, that's a monster defensive team right there. So I mean, yeah,
like
man.
that. Staying on topic. Good shit, man. Yo, Trey, appreciate you for hopping on and talking some Melo with me and being a member of Control as a whole. If you want to drop your ats or whatever for people to hit you on social, for anybody watching on YouTube, all these links will be in the description. And for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just listen and hit them up on social.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, tneil23. Twitter, same thing. Always Melo, man. Stay Melo, man.
Let's go, bro. I appreciate your time tonight, bro.
No problem, bro. Appreciate you.